Welcome, everyone, to another enlightening episode of Create Your Holistic Lifestyle Show. I'm your host, Kuka Russell, and today we have a truly extraordinary guest, Dr. Kevin W. Reese. Dr. Reese has helped thousands of people reclaim their health and transform their lives since 2010. He's the author of more than 20 books, a pioneer of holistic healing, and the creator of the practice called Head to Toe Healing. With over 1 million followers across social media and a reputation for achieving some of the most documented healing results, Dr. Reese continues to inspire people worldwide to rise above disease and live in health. Today, we'll explore his books and the powerful connection between mind, body, and spirit in true regeneration. Welcome, Dr. Reese.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you. So let's just start about your journey. What inspired you to even begin where you're at today? Tell me about your first book, where it all began.
Oh, it begins just like everyone else, trying to heal yourself. And, you become passionate about it. You jump in. For me, I switched careers at 30 years old. And, before I knew it, I had a PhD in clients, and it just kept going and going. Just evolved.
So, okay, were you ever yourself confronted with any kind of a medical issue, anything that they had diagnosed?
I didn't have a diagnosis, but I was having heart issues, in my late 20s. And, I went through every test you can think of. And that's when the light went off in my head, that, they don't really have answers. They're just over testing.
Yeah. Correct.
And, that's what I just was inspired to do my own research and figure it out on my own. That was probably 2008, maybe.
And then, so what inspired you, though, to write that first book and the title of the book?
I had a few first books, so I'm not sure which one you're referring to.
Your first ever book.
Yeah, that was in 2014. It's not even on the shelves anymore. I even forgot the name of it.
That's okay. Yeah, that's quite all right. So which of your books do you feel mostly represents who you are today and why?
All of them. There's 20. They all represent what we do, and they're all a piece of head to toe healing.
Okay, so go ahead.
If someone had to read one, I would pick the red book, Medical Monopoly, because that describes the medical system, and that's a great place to start.
So tell me about the practice of head to toe healing. How did that come about?
Well, I came in doing detox, and then that evolved into nutrition. I was working on the mindfulness stuff as I was going. And then, even into my career, one day I had a lot of pain in my body. And so I couldn't figure it out. I went to chiropractors, osteopaths, masseuses, and it just, the creams, everything, just nothing was working. And one day somebody recommended to me postural alignment therapy. And I researched it. I started doing it, and I was out of pain in 3 weeks. And I remember laying on my floor in the living room, laughing like the Joker out of a Batman movie, because I just felt like I discovered the missing link to health. And I said, I'm going to combine all of it together. And I went back to school at like 40 years old. And at that point, I'm a 10-year veteran in health at that point. But I started studying the whole body. I studied the feet. I studied the pelvis. I studied the neck. I studied the spine. I studied everything, the brain. Everything individually I studied. And put it all together and created what we now call head to toe healing. And then I had to go out there and try it. I did, and it worked.
Well, that is very inspiring that you took it to the next level. Now, being that you come from that detox background, and I think that you and
Mhm.
I had that in common for a while, where everything was fruits, berries, melons, herbs, and tinctures. How do you feel about that now based on what you know?
That's a deep question. And yeah, I think it's not even close to head to toe healing. It's not the top of the mountain. It's just a slice of the pie, so to speak. And you know, there's only so far move your lymph and filter your kidneys are going to go. I've experienced so many clients and so much in this field that I can really have a pretty thorough opinion that head to toe healing is the ultimate because you're working on the whole body. And we take people that are 60, 70, sometimes 80 years old, we turn them around and they can have cheeseburgers. It doesn't matter. Like the proof's in the pudding, you know? Like, yeah, you can't go have fried chicken and Skittles, you know what I mean? But, you don't have to detox your brains out. You just don't. And too many of my colleagues and friends have died from it and have harmed themselves. And it's just one of those things that has a place, you know, but it's not everything. It's not, you know, don't go detoxing your brains out for 3 years. Not a good idea.
And what about when you're talking about detoxing your brains out, then how do you feel about water fasting?
With the people I deal with, I would never recommend water fasting. Never. The only exception might be the sea monster.
Okay.
That might be the only exception. If
Yeah.
somebody had the sea monster and they need to aggressively get after the cellular issue. Maybe. But the people that I deal with are mostly over 60 years old. They have toxicity in them from years and years. And they're missing nutrients. And their bodies are all out of alignment. So we put their bodies back into alignment. We pump them full of nutrition. We take them off just 4 foods: gluten, oils, fried food, fake food. That's it. And then they get better. Quickly, too. Quickly.
That was my
And
next question. How quick?
we have results inside the first 120 days. And we keep track of people's symptoms. We call it the symptom score. So the symptom score comes down like this, right? Let's say they have a 35. And then 4 months later, they have a 25. And then another 4 months later, they have a 15. And the symptoms just start going away. They start fading away over time. And this method is revolutionary. No one's ever done it that I know of. And I think it's going to replace, as long as this Dr. Reese guy keeps becoming more popular, I think it's going to replace blood labs, iridology. It's going to replace all that because at the end of the day, the body is a whole unit. So, you know, you got to look at the ankles and the pelvis and the ears and the eyes and the nose and the mouth. Like everything is connected, and it's, you know, there's 11 systems in the body, right? The lymphatic is only one of 11. So, you know, the body is complicated yet simple all at the same time, but getting after it head to toe has been the solution that I have found is what works.
Well, that makes complete sense. And for the listeners that are tuning in, I have to go back in time on this one, Dr. Reese, because when I first came across your work, it was through a YouTube video where you were analyzing what could have happened to Bruce Lee.
Yeah.
That's always how I remember stumbling upon your work, and I was fascinated by it, and that led me down my own deep research and knowing more. So I want to thank you for that, because you were truly onto something.
You're welcome. Yeah, and I've updated that video because now that I understand the whole body, I understand that Bruce Lee had a cervical flexion. That means his neck was falling out onto his chest. And a lot of fighters have this. Muhammad Ali also had this. And he wasn't draining lymphatic fluid from his head. So if you go and get hit in the head and you're not draining lymph, you're going to damage your brain. And so I believe that Muhammad Ali and Bruce Lee both had this, and that's why they both suffered from brain injuries, right? Muhammad Ali had Parkinson's, Bruce Lee had cerebral edema. So there's not too many people in the world that can just say what I just said. That is truly studying the body as a whole unit. Because who the heck talks about cervical flexion, right? I've come a long way since you saw that video 15 years ago.
Yeah, 15 years ago.
Probably, maybe a little less.
Probably, yeah,
yeah,
somewhere around there. Yeah, for
yeah.
sure. You know, as you were mentioning that, I was also thinking about football players.
Yes.
And boxers and anyone
yes.
that
CTE.
Yeah.
CTE.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Yep. It's all because their head is forward. And it's a very hard posture position to reverse. And it takes a while. But yeah, if you're not draining fluid from your head, there's so many symptoms that can happen. And you're not getting enough blood and oxygen to the brain, the eyes, the ears, the mouth as well. Posture is the missing link.
Yes.
100%. And our old teacher used to say, get on the fruits, move the lymph. It's not that. It's not the fruit. Yeah, fruit moves lymph for sure. I mean, you eat all grapes for 2 days, you're going to feel like you're getting a cold perhaps. But if your body's not in alignment, the lymph can't move because the lymphatic system does not have a pump. So the only way to move lymph out of, say, my arm is to move my arm, to move the joint. Huge revelation right there.
That's huge. And as you're saying that, I'm thinking about what you say about muscles move bones.
Yes, and that's one of my books. It's called Muscles Move Bones. Mm-hmm. The Brown book. Yeah.
That makes sense. And also with somebody like me who suffered for years with TMJ in the worst way possible, always having to be rushed to the ER because my jaw would lock shut, not open. So then I discovered a doctor over in Great Falls, Montana, and she was the one that turned me on to also what you just said is about postural alignment.
Mm-hmm. And we reverse TMJ all the time. Mm-hmm. TMJ, plantar fasciitis, back pain, neck pain, knee pain. We get rid of pain. Pain's our specialty. It just goes away.
I could also think of ringing in the ears,
ringing in the ears, tinnitus, vertigo.
Yeah.
We get floaters in the eyes, vision issues, cavities. We have cavities reversing. It's remarkable. Like somebody needs to come study this.
That's what I'm thinking. You're going to have to open up your own school. I do know that that's what your whole method is teaching people versus going to doctors per se and getting treated versus what you're doing is teaching them.
Teaching them how to heal themselves. Yeah. And then we have a head to toe healing membership program where we continue to teach them and motivate them. And it's kind of like AA. Like if a person is an alcoholic and they're trying to get sober, They have to do it themselves. But they can go to AA for support. They can catch a meeting every day if they want. And that's what we do. We supply 2 meetings a day.
That's phenomenal. And it's just you, or do you have you trained other people that are helping you through this? Because you're one man. So
yeah,
how are you?
Yeah, I don't do much work. I have a team of coaches that do their thing, and I don't see any members except for once or twice a month. I'll do a group call. But I'm very busy writing the books and making the videos. I'm almost like a promoter at this point, because what I've created is a system. You don't need Kevin Reese to do head to toe healing. You need Kevin Reese's system. You don't need me. So I'm consistently trying to break the programming from people, thinking they need to sit down with the quote unquote doctor. I say, no, you don't have to sit down with me. I'm a fake doctor. You don't even need me. You don't even need me. Just follow the books, the system, the membership. Just follow it. Do your thing. You don't need me. It's like, do you need Thomas Crapper to have a bowel movement? No. He made the toilet. It's there. Go ahead.
That makes sense. Speaking of toilets, we do have a question from a listener who wanted to know, how long does it take on average to have a normal bowel movement, especially under your system, and what would that entail?
I think a bowel movement should last about as long as a urination movement. So that would be 60 seconds, maybe 90 seconds?
And how about with somebody who is suffering from severe constipation and has been chronically constipated for years?
Well, constipation can come from a lack of stomach acid. It can come from a postural misalignment, the pelvis being tilted. It can also come from nutritional issues. It could be a liver. It could be gallbladder. I mean, there's so many things. So again, head to toe healing, getting after the whole body is the solution for that and everything else, really. But there are cleanses that you could take just to get it going until the head to toe healing kicks in.
And how do you...
We have people all the time that they're constipated for 40 years and then all of a sudden they're regular, you know?
That's fantastic. How do you feel about supplementation? Is that part of what you tell people to do under your method?
Absolutely. We have high quality supplements that are very important because the soil doesn't have the nutrition that it used to. So you do need to supplement. And I look at it no different than an air conditioner. You know, if you live in Florida, are you not going to put an air conditioner in your house? Because of the EMF or something? Like supplements, as long as they're high quality, are a technological advancement that we need to take advantage of. For sure. You need to get your nutrition somehow, some way, because nutrition is the baseline. You know? That's your fuel.
That makes sense.
And that's what I learned back in the detox days, and I think that's why a lot of people detox themselves to death, is because they were losing nutrition. Right? That's not just waste coming out. It's nutrition. So I tell people all the time, anytime you lose fluid, if you're sweating, if you have diarrhea, if you're throwing up, if you're having sex, sorry to be graphic, no matter what fluid you lose, it needs to be replaced with minerals, vitamins, and amino acids, et cetera, et cetera. You need nutrition to come back into the body every time. And so if you're detoxing and you're cleansing and you got all this junk coming out, you're losing the nutrition along with the junk. And that's why I believe so many people have been harmed from detox.
Well, that is controversial. Just that statement alone. And I'm sure that I could see how people would probably come after you for that statement. But as you're describing it, it makes sense. We've just not been told that part of it.
Nope.
Yeah.
And I think the issue is when somebody creates a business online and it's based on A, B, and C, and A, B, and C makes a lot of money, and you have other business partners and such, and you learn more in life, which you're supposed to keep learning, right? And you discover that your method isn't the end all be all, you can't change your narrative because it will ruin the business.
Another powerful statement right there.
So you have a bunch of health influencers out there teaching the wrong things because it'll mess up their business, right? If you're making $1 million a month, right? You don't want to ruin that.
Yeah.
So
that makes sense.
You got to be careful who you listen to because, and it's not that it's just a lot of health influencers are teaching half truths. And maybe it's more than likely not intentional,
Yeah.
But look, I changed.
Yeah, you have.
I've changed and it worked. And like I said, my audience is mostly 60-plus-year-olds. And they're healing at rapid rates. And imagine if I was detoxing these people. Oh my gosh. These poor 70-year-old women talking about, I have a rash all over my body. We don't want that.
Yeah, that makes sense. And when a client comes to you and they are on a ton of medication, now that you're talking about the 60 and over age group in particular, I remember when my mom passed away and going into the house and I opened up the medicine cabinet, I could not believe the amount of medications that the doctors had put her on. And my thought was, this is how they killed her. Yeah. What do you tell those that come to you? What is your message when it comes to that age group of living on pharmaceuticals?
So you have to get off statin drugs. You have to get off proton pump inhibitors. Those two drugs, you can't heal on them. So we inspire and teach our people to get off those two drugs because you cannot heal on them. Literally, you cannot heal on them because they're counterproductive. All the other pharmaceuticals that a person's on, fine. Stay on them. As you get better, you're going to see you're not going to need them anymore. You're going to wean yourself off. But as far as statins and proton pump inhibitors, you have to get off them today, ASAP.
Got it. Message heard. And now, again, we're going back to that 60 over age group because that would be me. So this is a selfish question, and I'm hoping that other listeners that are in that age group will appreciate. But how does this play into aging as far as the physical aspects of it, whether it's the skin, the wrinkles, all of this? How does that factor in as well?
Yeah, we all want to age gracefully. This is a topic that's in my pink book, Wise Woman, and my black book, Mindful Man. And really, aging comes down to nutrition, getting the proper nutrients, such as something like collagen, for example. But it's also about the mindfulness. It's also about not worrying too much and having a free life and being free and having love and all those type of things will really, really have a great impact on your aging and your longevity. Nobody wants to be stressed. There's different types of stress, you know. There's difficulty. Like going through difficulty will actually make you stronger. There's nothing wrong with that, especially for a man. There's a lot of weak men out here. They need difficulty.
Yeah.
But if you're going to sit there and be worried about, you know, nuclear war or, you know, a solar comet coming down to blow up Earth and stuff like that, or watching the news, that type of negativity will really have a toll on you. Control what you can control. That's the best way to age, is control what you can control and get a bunch of nutrition and walk. Oh my gosh. Like, we have these legs for a reason. Go get your 10,000 steps a day. Keep walking. Those would be my three tips for someone to age gracefully. Control what you can control. Make sure you're getting all the nutrition you can. And walk. Walk, 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 walk. Too many people don't walk. They sit there and they watch TV. Huge mistake. Huge mistake. I plan on walking, and it's my goal to walk until the last day. I go for a walk every day. And I can handle my business on my phone. I can take a phone call if needed. Or I can just be in the present moment. But either way, I'm going to walk. I'm going to walk until I can't walk anymore.
That's good advice. Now, we're talking about stress. You have a very calm demeanor about you. The way that you speak is very slow. It's not rushed. Mm-hmm. Your videos are right in your face, slow talking, and you have to listen.
Yeah.
Has that always been how you communicate, or was this something also that you learned over time when it involves de-stressing?
Yeah, it happened over time. If anyone watches my old videos, such as that first Bruce Lee video that you mentioned, I'm very energetic and loud. I've always been working on myself behind the scenes. Mindfulness training. I've had spiritual experiences, satori's and such. I've had all these things that have happened from 2010 to about 2018 is when I started to change. And things started to slow down a little bit. And so I became very calm. Now, if someone were to go watch my social media videos and watch me going like this and slowing down and having pauses, do I talk like that every day, all day? No. This is me helping people to meditate, not knowing that they're meditating.
It puts me in a trance.
I am relaxing people. This is why probably most of my audience is women. Could be my hair. I don't know. But I think a lot of women tend to stress more than men. They tend to worry more than men. When they find me, they start to relax.
Your videos are relaxing.
Yes. And on top of it, the information they're getting is coming out slow. So you can digest it. So it's twofold. It's actually threefold. It's threefold. Okay? You're getting the information, you're getting the relaxing, and you're getting the energy. And if people can tap into that, so be it. We have people that absolutely, they hate the way I talk. And a month later, they're like, I didn't like it at first, but now I do, and I don't know why. Or now I go to sleep to your videos, things like this. I'm doing something very different. I'm not just promoting head to toe healing. I'm also promoting relaxation. It's different.
I love it. With you, in interviewing you, what I'm finding is I'm relaxing, I'm hearing, and it's about waiting to find out whether or not you have more to say. And it can be sort of like, okay, he's still talking. So yeah, you have a style, and it's about relaxation. You've found this beautiful, never before done niche. I don't know what you call it, where there's only one Dr. Reese.
Yeah. It's a blessing. It's really a blessing to be in this position. I have to pinch myself all the time. Like, is this real? Is this real? Because I struggled for so long. For so long. It's not easy to get on this social media and turn healing into a business. It's very hard. If it wasn't hard, then everyone would do it. Like, think about all the people that have gone to school for this. And they're non-existent as far as business goes. And so I feel almost chosen in a way. That's a strong word, but I think you know what I mean.
And we'll be right back with Dr. Kevin W. Reese. We will take a quick commercial break.
Hey there, Detox Jenny here. Is your digestion poor, painful, or just plain stuck? If so, please consider doing a short 3 to 10 day juice cleanse with my company, Earthly Juices. You can visit us at bringmejuice.com. You will be surprised what a difference a short cleanse can make within your body and your overall well-being. Our organic farm-to-table juice cleanses are handcrafted to exclude your allergies and geared towards solving your health issues. Call 310-404-6804 and mention this show and receive a free quart of juice with your first order. You can also find us at www.bringmejuice.com, or you could write us your detox questions at earthlyjuices@gmail.com. We can't wait to bring that juice to your doorstep.
I tell myself again and again, I'm happy about my favorite juice from gin. I tell myself again and again, well, Earthly Juices, they make the best juice cleanse.
Here's a listener question. I've been trying to figure out what I can eat if everything is contaminated now. A lot of these things are banned in other countries. So I plan to start ordering seeds from out of the country. Also, just finding decent soil that hasn't been tampered with is hard.
You want to limit your plastics? It's very simple. Don't use plastic silverware. Don't use plastic Tupperware. Use glass. Use wood. But you're not going to avoid plastics. It'd be very hard to. I mean, you can replace your toothbrush with like bamboo toothbrush, but, it's just everywhere. But plastics are a problem. Watch out for mold, certainly. Watch out for heavy metals, but don't get too paranoid. Some people are just, oh my God, the chemicals, the this, the that. You got a liver for a reason. And if you make your liver healthy and you take those poor foods out of your diet and you limit your plastic, you should be okay.
Well, that makes complete sense. It's sometimes hard to do, especially if somebody goes out to eat or they get takeout and they put it on those plastic containers, that I do look at it and go, oh my, that's just microplastics that are swimming in whatever it is that were cooked up in that oil.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
nuts. So,
Yeah. It's the same thing with EMF. You know, I'm in my studio right now. I can't even imagine how much EMF I'm taking in. I don't care. I don't want to worry. Like, the mind is so powerful, we just don't understand. I wrote a whole book on it, the Purple Book. It's called Cheat Code. And it's about hacking the computer in your skull. It's a computer. And it connects to the rest of your body through the spine. The spine is like a switchboard, and your brain is like a computer. And so just imagine all that worry about things you can't really control, all that paranoia, just slowing down your lymphatic system, decreasing your immune system, making you weaker, affecting your sleep. Just let go.
yeah. And speaking of sleep, is there a particular amount of hours that you say that a person should get for sleeping?
Everyone's different. Everyone is different. That's what I found. They say 8. It's not true. For me, it's like 7 hours. I'm good. I can function on 6, but 7 makes me feel very rested. I know high-powered executives that get 4 hours of sleep. They're not tired. I also know enlightened beings that only get 4 hours of sleep. They're not tired. So I can't sit here and say you need a certain amount. I can say that you need sleep, for sure. I think it has something to do with how deep you sleep. There's a difference. That deep sleep, I don't know. It's one of the best feelings in the world. That really deep sleep, and you wake up and you're like, wow. Like, I'm recharged, you know? It's just, it's magical.
Absolutely.
It's truly magical. Like, what better time to give thanks to God when you get that recharge? Like, thank you so much. I needed, you know, like, it's the best. It's really the best. And I feel so horribly for people that have sleeping issues because I know what it's like. And I wrote a book about it, the Blue Book, Sleep Solution. It's really a bad feeling when you walk around like a zombie and your legs feel heavy. It's tough. It's a tough life to live.
Yeah, it really is. I know personally people that I'm very close to that have sleep issues, just trying to get 2 hours of sleep. Or sometimes they're not getting any sleep. And it is very painful to know that these people are suffering in that way because they have no sleep, no rest. Their mind just keeps going. Their body is worn out.
And you know what it is?
What is it?
Well, first of all, it could be a nutritional deficiency. So everyone should go get blood labs, you know what I mean? Like, handle that. Once you push that to the side, then you have to understand that they're scared. It's fear. The inner child inside of them needs to be consoled, needs to feel safe. Just imagine a 3-year-old scared out of their mind. That's what it's like. And then when you are sleep deprived, then you get scared that you're not going to sleep the next night.
Yes.
And it becomes this whole thing, but what if I don't? What if I hallucinate? And stuff like that. It's scary. And I say in the Blue Book, I say sleep will always find you. It's impossible for you not to sleep. It's impossible. You will fall asleep. So, drop the fear. Drop the fear and just let it be what it is. And console yourself, like I teach in the book. And you'll start sleeping. But there's something inside of that person that's scared. Or it's nutritional deficiency. It's one or the other. Fear is powerful. Fear is powerful.
Yes, and that's happening a lot in today's world. And this is impacting even
I don't say that as an insult. I mean that as a fact. They're so weak. They would have benefited so much growing up in the 70s or 80s, let me tell you.
Yeah.
And, let's throw them 200 years ago, right? On a homestead, where by the time you're 15, you got to learn how to use a shotgun.
Yes.
And you got to get the horses and defend the homestead. And, little 15-year-old girls are practically like mothers at that age back then, It's like, and then go back even further to medieval times. It's even worse. Craziness. Imagine sitting in a village and people are like, oh my God, the Vikings are coming. The Vikings are coming. And you're like, oh no, that's stress. Not this. And so we have created a culture of very weak people. These high school kids are very, very weak. Not all, but, probably 95% of them are very, very weak. It's one of the reasons why I'm scared to have a child. I don't want a weak kid. I would feel horrible. And parenting doesn't, I've learned too that parenting doesn't really work. I mean, it does for the first 10 years. But once they become a teenager, it's over. Like they're on their own. And it's on them to figure it out, even if you want to parent them and hold their hand. Because once a human is grown, they're just on their own. They have their own computer in their skull. And they're just going to walk around Earth with their computer, with their programming. You only got 10 years with a kid. Give or take. Give or take. It's not exact. And when they get to a teenager, man, you can try to be as hands-on as you can, but they're really on their own. Even when you're financially supporting them, they're really on their own. And that's hard for a lot of parents. It's very hard. Yeah. Especially for mothers. Yes. Because again, mothers worry. And if she has a son, oh my gosh, that bond with the son is incredible. I don't know what it is. Mothers and sons, if there's some sort of crazy bond, that's really incredible.
Guilty as charged.
Yeah, and I know, and I realized this within the last few years. Like, no woman is ever going to love me more than my mother. Ever. Not even close.
Yeah, that's what my son says too. I'll never find anyone like you, Mom.
Right. That's right. And so, and then, when the mom gets older, then it goes in reverse. And then you got to take care of the mom and you got to make her feel safe. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing, man. But yeah, it's a touchy subject. Go ahead.
I would invite you to move to Montana and Reese son over here. You were describing a homestead. I'm looking outside, and that's exactly what it looks like. And the teenage boys that I see when they're coming out of school, most of them have their cowboy boots and they're ready to go do some farm work. So it's a different breed over here. You might consider that.
Yeah. Yeah, you never know where I'm going to end up. I don't know.
Find a wife here.
Find a wife. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe.
So we're almost to closing, but I wanted to ask you, what is the most profound healing, transformative healing that you witnessed where it was your eureka moment of, wow, I'm really on to something? Is there any one particular person that you helped?
Well, in the last few years, no one stands out because it all happens at the same time. We sit on a Zoom just like this, and they all one at a time tell me everything that has gone away. And it's just one after another, one after another, one after another. I swear, I don't think this has ever been done. To be able to sit there and talk to people healing, and they're like, yeah, my vertigo is gone, my tinnitus is gone, my floaters are gone, my back pain's gone, and my plantar fasciitis is gone, and I healed my relationship with my mother. Thank you so much, Dr. Reese. And they're in tears. And then they're done, and the next person comes up, and they're in tears. And they're like, my knee pain's gone, and I can sleep again. And it's like, it's just very overwhelming. If anyone were to go to drkevinreese.com and hit the healing results button, it's going to take more than a day to watch all those videos. It's very overwhelming. But I can say back in the day, I had a client named Kim who was pregnant, and she had a tumor blocking the birth canal. And I just changed her diet. That's all I did was change her diet. And that thing disappeared. Disappeared in 6 weeks. And they told her she was going to die at childbirth. Her son is 12 years old right now.
That is a testimony. What an incredible... And I'm sure, like you said, you have more.
And she came back. She contacted me a year and a half ago and said, my son is an honor student now, and I need to tell my story. I was too scared back then. I need to tell it now. So we're like, okay. And she's only 45 minutes away. So we're like, come into the studio. She came into the studio, the very studio I'm sitting in right now, and she talked for an hour about this. And yeah, it's pretty cool.
Well, now I understand why people line up to meet you, to have you sign books. I mean, your work is incredible, and you're continue to evolve and achieve all of this, even in controversy that you face from critics. So do you feel that controversy has been part of the catalyst to help you even succeed even further?
Not personally, but I guess from the narrative standpoint it does. Because I'm not going to not talk about it. I just use it as fuel. You know, we got a threat. This is on the tip of my brain because it happened a month ago. This guy messaged us. He was like, you know, I don't like quacks. And, you know, someone could be out there with a gun and someone could know where you live and someone could come and take your life away if they don't like quacks. And he's obviously talking about himself, but he's putting it in a way that he doesn't make himself a suspect, right? It happens all the time. And it just tells me that I've reached that level. I'm doing something. I'm shaking the tree.
You definitely are doing that. We are going to close here in 3 minutes, but I have two questions. If you can answer it, that would be great before we close. What do you hope people will walk away from with your body of work 20 years from now? That's one. And if you could leave listeners with one core principle that sums up head to toe healing, what would it be?
Well, the one principle would be if you're not born with it, it's not yours. Meaning if you weren't diagnosed with something in your first, say, 5 years of life or maybe 10 years of life, it's not yours. So you can reverse it. You can get rid of it. You just have to head in the opposite direction. That's why we don't use the word cure. We use the word reverse, because you just have to go in the other direction. You're going in the wrong direction. Turn around. And what do I want people to know 20 years from now? That you can heal yourself. Pretty much the same thing. You know, that's why I had so much urgency to get these books done. Use the books. Use the books. It's very rare that a health person or anybody has 20 books.
Yes.
So I did that for a reason. I did that because the work will continue. And the videos are on a hard drive, so they're never going to stop whether I'm here or not. And it's just going to keep going and going and going and going, whether I'm here or not. It's, you know, this hopefully will last a good 200 years, if we can. I don't know about more than that. People will forget at some point. But, you know, if we can get 200 years out of it, oh my gosh, that would be amazing.
That is incredible. I really want to sincerely thank you for being on the show. And where can people find your work?
drkevinreese.com. And as far as social media goes, I think Facebook is our biggest platform. We're about to hit 1 million followers just on Facebook alone over there. And it's very active comments. You'll see the haters, the lovers. You'll see everything. And yeah, find me on Facebook with a blue check. There's people out there using my name to scam people, unfortunately. They're trying to take advantage of the senior citizens. It's unfortunate. So always look for the blue check, the blue check.
That is fantastic. So I have to say it's been an incredible hour with Dr. Kevin Reese, author, teacher, and visionary behind Head to Toe Healing. His message reminds us that true wellness isn't about chasing symptoms, but awakening the body's natural intelligence through simplicity, awareness, and self-study. If you felt inspired by today's conversation, I encourage you to explore Dr. Reese's books and connect with his work online. His healing methods have transformed countless lives, and his message continues to empower people all over the world to take back their health. Thank you, Dr. Reese, for being on the show.
Thank you.